Shalom, everybody. Welcome back to our Chavruta sessions live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. Today, he's got a unique message. He's entitled Beyond the Code Within Our Hearts, AI's Intimate Dance with Humanity. Sounds exciting. Should be very, very interesting. I look forward to hearing what the rabbi's got to share. So, sorry we're a couple minutes late starting, but the rabbi's here. So let's just jump right in and say hello to the rabbi. Shalom, Rabbi. You're live on the air. We're going to turn the class over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something that I'm missing here, but never mind now. Okay. I wanted to have a better shape of a computer, my camera. I will try this thing in just a moment. Let's see if it's working. I can't promise, but maybe it will. If it will work, we manage. If not, let's see. Okay. What's happening here? So many things. It won't work. I'm sorry. Okay, you won't have the. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'm sorry. The camera still is not working. So fair enough. Never mind. We'll use the usual camera, and I know that it's a bit odd. It's not the best. Good to see you, everybody. Long time no see. Last week we had a very nice, very interesting holiday. Now we came back to the war, to the fight, whatever it is, but we want to learn. I've heard that there are a few interesting things around the world, but let's dive inside because I think that I'm not 1% sure that I will be able to stay until the end. It might be the 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes I won't be able to speak. I wanted to address tonight the moral question of the AI and how the Hebrew people are looking on this issue. And it's related also with what we call the Matan Torah issue, okay, with the thing that the acceptance of the Torah, where Moses went to the Mount Sinai and brought us the Ten Commandments, and all of this occasion. And I want to remind us all that the occasion of what we call Matan Torah, of acceptance of the Torah, that God gave us this Torah, I will address a few things. First of all, it doesn't say anywhere that Moses got the full Torah. Okay? It says, especially in the Ethics of the Father, it starts that Moses, Moshe kibel Torah miSinai. Moses received Torah from Sinai, but it doesn't say that he received the full Torah. Okay? Because no one can really, I will say, grasp or understand the full Torah. Okay, also the sages of Israel, there are a few sages that are very, also brilliant, are very in a high level of spirituality, whatever it is. But no one, even Moses, doesn't have, I will say, the capacity of accepting everything. But there is a very interesting or very important chapter before the acceptance of the Torah, before the story of the Hebrew nation. And we read this every year. More than that, this very special, very important parsha that we read every year on the Shabbat starts, first of all, with this issue of Jethro that is coming to the Hebrew nation. And I said it more than once. All the world saw, heard, understood, okay, all the miracles that happened to the Hebrew nation in Egypt. The whole world heard about this. It was the first time that a nation or people managed to escape from Egypt. And even though they were slaves, they didn't escape. At the end, they got the blessing to go out. And more than that, also this occasion of the sea, okay, that got splitted and the Hebrew nation passed over. And after that, the Egyptians died. All of this, all of the world heard. But only there is one person who did an action because of this thing, okay? And this was Jethro. Jethro was It's a debate inside the Hebrew sages if he was the first Noahide person or if he did a full conversion after that. But Jethro didn't only heard that something happened, it's also influenced his behavior. He decided to do an action because of this thing. I think the first step of a Noahide, and all of those who are sitting here are on exactly the same, I will say exactly the same scale, okay, like Jethro. You can applaud yourself because all of you are also on the same stage that you saw that the Hebrew nation came out from 200 countries, okay? And it was after 2,000 years of exile, not like in Egypt, from one country after 230 years, okay? And you decided to resonate with this and to say to yourself, okay, let's dive inside, let's learn a bit, let's understand what's happening here, and maybe we need to change our behavior. Jethro was the first one who did it. I must say also that it's a very interesting situation for personal growth, okay? The beginning of every personal growth is, first of all, to say, I don't want to stay on I will say, the most comfortable zone. I need to move aside a bit. I need to start to move, to sturge. And this is the way of growing up for your personal growth, okay? What we call coaching today. And this is what happened with Jethro. But let's read for a moment. Let's dive inside. I hope that it won't do us problems. This thing. Let's dive inside a bit to the situation with Jethro and Moses. First of all, we need to understand, and it's very important, Jethro was the father-in-law of Moses, right? So we all know with the generations, if someone is the father-in-law and the other one is only, got married with his daughter, so he's a bit elder than Moses, right? And Moses basically learned a lot from Jethro. I said it more than once. We need to realize or to remember that Jethro, that we all know was the prince, was the most highest priest, okay, of the Midian people. The Midian people was one of the kids of the destinies of Abraham. After Sarah died, Abraham took back Hagar, okay, the mother of Ishmael, and he married her again, and then he had 8 more kids, okay, and one of the kids was Midian. So basically, we need to realize maybe it took 100 years after that, whatever it is, something like that. But the high priest of Midian, he knew a lot of secrets of Abraham also. And if you will ask yourself from where Moses learned the secrets of prophecy, it didn't come from out of the blue, from nothing. He had a very interesting master who taught him those things. His name was Jethro. And it's also written down by us that Jethro learned all the, I will call it, all the idolatry in his time. We can see this in chapter 19. It says here, okay? Sorry, it's supposed to be chapter 18. Sorry, my mistake. Chapter 18. No, come on, don't bother me now. In chapter 18, okay? Please read for a moment verses 1 and 2.
Okay, chapter 18 of Exodus, verse 1 and 2. Now Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, the chieftain of Midian, heard all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, his people, that the Lord had taken Israel out of Egypt. 2. So Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, took Zipporah, Moses' wife, after she had been sent away.
And also, after that, it's also, just a moment, אני בשיעור עם בני נוח, נדבר, ביי. And also, he also took the kids and everything else, and he's coming, again, he's doing an action. He's not staying in his comfort zone. Okay, read also verse 5, please.
Okay, verse 5. Now Moses' father-in-law Jethro and his son Moses' son and his wife came to Moses to the desert where he was encamped, to the mountain of God.
Okay, we're speaking about just before, this is the chapter before, accepting the Ten Commandments. Okay, and he's calling Moses, is Moses going out to him and everything else. But the most important thing is, just a moment, I want to show something very important here, and then we'll go back to the story here. Let's see. You know what? Let's read it. Let's read from 7 till 12. Okay, 7 till 12, please.
Okay, so Moses went out toward Jethro, prostrated himself, and kissed him. And they greeted one another, and they entered the tent. 8. Moses told his father-in-law about all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians on account of Israel, and about all the hardships that had befallen them on the way, and that the Lord had saved them. Jethro was happy about all the good that the Lord had done for Israel, that he had rescued them from the hands of the Egyptians. 10. Thereupon Jethro said, Blessed is the Lord who has rescued you from the hands of the Egyptians and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has rescued the people from beneath the hand of the Egyptians. 11. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all the deities, for with the thing that they plotted he came upon them. 12. Then Moses' father-in-law Jethro sacrificed burnt offerings and peace offerings to God, and Aaron and all the elders of Israel came to dine with Moses' father-in-law before God.
Okay, so my main question is in the beginning. Let's start, only for the beginning. How does he know that he is greater from all the other deities? Let's read Rashi for a moment, okay? Let's read Rashi. Rashi is really amazing here. He's quoting the Midrash, of course. Now I know. Okay, I
recognize him in the past, but now I recognize him even more from Mechilta than all the deities. This teaches us that he, Jethro, was knowledgeable about every type of idolatry in the world, and there was no pagan deity that he did not worship from Mechilta.
Okay, and it's also interesting to say that the main thing that is amazing, I will say, Jethro, after he heard everything, he's saying, remember that in the beginning of Exodus, Pharaoh said that every boy that is being born, they need to drown him in the water, right? What happened at the end to the Egyptians? They got drowned. Okay, so basically, if you think about this for a moment, when they announced that this is how they're going to treat and to kill the Hebrew people, basically they announced it on themselves. Think about this for a moment. Okay, they said that they're going to do to the Hebrew people this and this and this, and what happened at the end? They did it to themselves, or this is what they received from God. And this is one of the things that Jethro is saying. He is such an amazing God that he is basically turning upside down to the people who harmed his people. He's turning upside down that they will receive the things that they wanted to do to the Hebrew people. And this is the greatness of God. He is not, from here we are learning, it's a very important point also. It's by side I'm saying something. From here we are learning that God is not something that is sitting up there and, deciding for himself, with this I'm going to do that, with this I'm going to do that. No, God is basically bringing on the people what they organize to themselves. When people are doing bad things, they did it to themselves. Okay, if they're not doing repentance, God is not stopping that from coming to themselves what they organize to themselves. If they're doing repentance, God is doing with those behavior other things. Okay, with those bad behaviors other things. And this is why God is so greatness, because there's not something here that is trying to without any thoughts to whom to rescue, to whom to take out from slavery, or whatever it is. No, he is doing it in a way that is related with the actions that we are doing. When we are doing bad actions, we are bringing on ourselves the bad things that we did. The Egyptians decided to kill the Hebrew people by drowning them in the water. So basically, they did it to themselves. If they would have done repentance, so God would have done something else. But because they didn't do any repentance, so basically, God brought on them what they decided to do, what they wanted to do to the Hebrew people. So this is what Jethro is saying. This is something unique to the Hebrew God, okay? To the God that the Hebrew is presenting to this world. But the most important thing also to understand that Jethro, who worshipped a lot of idolatry, decided that from hearing those things, he will come and join the Hebrew nation. Truth need to be said, before they're going, after 40 years, before they're going to the Hebrew land, he's going back to his homeland. He's not staying with the Hebrew people. His kids are staying. Okay, his kids are staying, and they will build up Jericho, okay, and they will stay there for a very long time. And never mind now what's happening today. It's not the issue, but we need to know that Jethro himself is not staying with the Hebrew nation. And here I want to go inside to, so the first point that we've learned is that not everybody, all the world heard that the Hebrew nation came out from Egypt. All the world heard about all the, I will say, the big hand of God, okay, that created everything. But there's one person that we know that decided to do an action from that. And the action that he did, he came to the Hebrew people. He blessed God. He acknowledged the situation. Some of our sages are saying that he became an Noachite. Some of our sages are saying that he also was the first one who did conversion. Okay? But then this is what happened with Jethro. And I'm saying always, all the Noachite people that I know are on the same level. Okay? That they decided to do something after they heard, they saw what's happening. But now I want to go inside to something that always amazed me, and always I was thinking to myself, what exactly is discussion between Jethro and Moses from here? Okay, what happened the day after that? It came about on the next day. Okay, let's see what's happening. And it's very important for me, Dan is going to read here a few verses. It's very important for me that you will try to catch on exactly what is the discussion between Jethro and Moses. Okay, what exactly are they, what each one of them is saying one to each other. Okay, because I think if you will think for a moment, really you will see that they speaking in two different, I will say, realms, in two different levels. One is speaking about, colors, and the other one is speaking about taste. They're not speaking one with each other, even though in the text it sounds like they're saying one to each other something. So let's see what's happening. Let's read for a moment. Now we need to read it a bit, okay? Until 22, okay? Okay,
from 13 to 22?
From 13 till 22, please.
Okay. It came about on the next day that Moses sat down to judge the people, and the people stood before Moses from the morning until the evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw what he was doing to the people, he said, "What is this thing that you are doing to the people? Why do you sit by yourself while all the people stand before you from morning till evening?" Moses said to his father-in-law, "For the people come to me to seek God." Scroll down. "And if any of them has a case, it comes to me, and I judge between a man and his neighbor, and I make known the statutes of God and his teachings." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "The thing you are doing is not good. You will surely wear yourself out, both you and these people who are with you, for the matter is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. Now listen to me. I will advise you, and may the Lord be with you. You represent the people before God, and you shall bring the matters to God. Scroll down. And you shall admonish them concerning the statutes and the teachings, and you shall make known to them the way they shall go, and the deeds they shall do. But you shall choose out of the entire nation men of substance, God-fearers, men of truth, who hate monetary gain. You shall appoint over them Israel leaders over thousands, leaders over hundreds, leaders over fifties, and leaders over tens. And they shall judge the people at all times, and it shall be that any major matter they shall bring to you, and they themselves shall judge every minor matter, thereby making it easier for you, and they shall bear the burden with you. If you do this thing, and the Lord commands you, you will be able to survive, and also all this people will come upon their place in peace.
Just a moment. Let's continue on till the end of the chapter, please. Okay.
Yeah. Moses obeyed his father-in-law, and he did all that he said. Moses chose men of substance out of all Israel and appointed them as heads of the people, leaders of thousands, leaders of hundreds, leaders of fifties, and leaders of tens. And they would judge the people at all times. The difficult case they would bring to Moses, but any minor case they themselves would judge. Scroll.
I'm sorry, I'll scroll a bit more. Yes.
Moses saw his father-in-law off, and he went away to his land.
Just a moment. This last sentence is very important for a moment. Let's jump for a moment to Numbers. Okay, let's see it for a moment. I hope it will straight go up. Let's go to Numbers. Okay, this is what we're going to read this parsha. Okay, this specific parsha, we're going to read it. I think it's in 14. Let me see. No. Sorry. Let's see if it's here. Yes, man. 9 or 10. Just a moment. I'm sorry. I was supposed to prepare this. It is. It is. This is something that we're going to read this parsha, okay? We said now, in a moment, we said that Moses greet his father-in-law and he went back to his homeland. And now let's see for a moment 29, 30, and 31, please.
Okay, 29. Then Moses said to Hobab, the son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are traveling to the place about which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will be good to you, for the Lord has spoken of good fortune for Israel. He said to him, I won't go, for I will go to my land and my birthplace. He said, please don't leave us, for because you are familiar with our encampments in the desert, and you will be our guide.
Okay, even though it didn't help him, and he's promising again that he will give him, and he went away. Okay, we all went. But here, when he says that you will be our guide, okay, in Hebrew, you need to know that in Hebrew, you will be our eyes. Okay, the guidance is being with the word of eyes. And basically, it's meaning that it's called also Enei Ha'edah, okay, the judges of the community. And we know that what Jethro said, or he taught us how to build up the structure of the judges. We have learning this from Jethro. This is what we've learned in Exodus. And here, Moses is saying to him, don't go away because you taught us how to build up the judge also structure. So please stay with us. And Jethro is saying to him, I will go away, and Jethro is going away. So first of all, just to compare those two places that are speaking about the same issue, same occasion, that he's going away, and Moses is asking him not to go. But my main question is, I have two questions from these things that we read here. I'm going back to the second part in Exodus, after Jethro saw, or prized God for everything. And the next day he saw something, And I have two questions. Question number one I have is, do we really think that Moses didn't know this structure of to nominate people, 10, 50, 100, and 1,000? And why do I ask that? Where exactly Moses grew up? In Egypt, but where in Egypt he grew up? He grew up in the palace, right? And it says very clear, very loud and very clear. I will show you for a moment, okay? That Moses also had been nominated, okay? He have been nominated. Here it is, look. Exodus chapter 3, okay? No, sorry. Exodus chapter 2 or chapter 1? Chapter 2, yes. If you read in chapter 2, okay? We see here the child grew up, right? And what is it? Yeah. What is it? Yes. And then it says again, now it came to pass in those days that Moses grew up. Why do we have twice this word grew up? Why do we have this twice? Let's read Rashi for a moment. Okay, again, let's go back to Rashi. Very simple, and you will see why do we have twice. Okay, it is. Okay, the second time that it says grew up. Look what Rashi is saying, please.
Moses grew up. Was it not already written the child grew up? Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Rabbi Eli said, the first one was Moses' growth in height, and the second one was his growth in greatness, because Pharaoh appointed him over his house.
Now I'm asking you, he grew up in the palace. He even got nominated to be, I will say, one of the servants that underneath him there are 1,000 people, or maybe 100 people. But in Egypt, they knew exactly to build up this structure, right? So Moses knew that. So I have two questions. Question number one, why do we need that Jethro will teach him to do that? And question number two, what exactly is he answering him? Moses said to him, to his father-in-law, for the people come to me to see God. What is this answer? I will show you that the answer is not good. You know how do I know that the answer is not good? Because after a few minutes, in the next coming verse, he will do what Jethro told him to do. So I don't understand the answer. Do you have any ideas? Do you understand my question? My question is very clear, I think. I hope. If not, tell me. Okay? I didn't understand what you said, sorry.
The amount of people, the need of the people was vast. It was a big ask. Yeah, the people come to him to see God. Well, there's that many people, so yeah,
fair enough. But Moses didn't know the system, how to build up a system of, he grew up in the palace. He knew exactly what's happening. He knew exactly how to pray.
Right.
So what exactly was his fault in the beginning? The question is even harder, because after all, we see that he's accepting Jethro ideas. So what exactly is his answer? I don't understand. What is the discussion here? I think that we need to understand exactly I will say,
right. Bart put a comment.
Bottom point of this discussion.
Yeah, Bart's comment. Read Bart's comment.
Just a moment, I will read it. I didn't read. He was seeking a solution for the spiritual needs of the people. Interesting. Martina, Moses thought the people can't find Hashem without him. Okay, you're starting to realize it's very interesting. And the truth is that this is the main answer. And I will give you and I will explain myself. Okay? Let me explain the situation. Moses here in verse 15 is answering something that is not related with how to live, I will say, with how to lead a nation. He's
Right. They
answering
weren't
something
looking
else.
for a judicial answer. They wanted, a personal answer rather than a judicial. Yeah. Situationally.
Okay,
Yes.
so we have here two things. We have here two, we'll say two levels. Okay, let's put aside verse number 15. Even if we will skip on verse number 15, everything is fine. Jethro is asking, "What are you doing?" And Moses is saying to him, I wasn't organized yet. We don't need to answer the Moses answer. And Jethro is telling him, what you need to do? You need to build up your nominations. Those who are in charge of 10 people and 50 people and 100 people and 1,000 people. And Moses is doing it. The answer that Moses is answering him is something else, totally in a different era, in a different mindset. And here we're coming to one of the big debates of the Hebrew nation along history, and the difference between the Hebrew, I will say, definition of the human being, and how the Hebrew people are saying this definition, and the definition that the sages of the world are giving to the human being. Okay? The sages of the world are saying all the time that the uniqueness of the human being is that he have a brain and he have the reason and he have a possibility of thinking. You remember this statue in Rome? The thinking man? Remember that? We all know that, right? We all know this statue, the thinking man. Okay? This is how Plato said about what is the uniqueness of man. Plato said the thinking man. Aristotle said the thinking man. All the philosophers all over the history of the world said that the uniqueness of man, that he have the possibility of thinking. The Hebrew nation, along history, said something else. We said that man, the uniqueness of man, that he have a soul and that he is a personality. He is a unique personality, that there is no one else in this world like him. He have a will that is a spark from the will of God. Okay? And each one of us, okay, it's not only in Paris, it's also in Rome. Okay. It's all over the world. Okay, fair enough. The Hebrew people said, now the Hebrew people said more than that. Let's go one step ahead. They said that when you're saying that the uniqueness of people, that they have the possibility of thinking and reasoning and doing calculations and whatever it is, it's bringing people to be the same. Because 2 + 2 is equal to 4 in all of the language of the world and everywhere in the world. So I have no uniqueness. I'm the same like you. I'm the same like everybody else. We all need to think the same. We are all in the same patterns of thinking. Where's my uniqueness? I'm becoming a number. The structure of the numbers will be 10, 50, 100, 1,000. I'm becoming in a structure of numbers. I'm losing my identity. I'm not a person. I'm a figure that have some sort of, I will say, responsibility. What are you? I'm a doctor. I'm repairing people. I'm a doctor in the hospital. Yes, but who are you? What is your personality? No, I'm a doctor. I'm a bus driver. I don't really have identity. My identity became a functionality of what I'm doing. Moses is sneaking here in verse number 15 something very amazing. He's saying, the Hebrew nation, it's not only that we are learning the Torah. We're doing something else. We're passing the Torah from a father to a son, father to his son, father to his son. We're passing the Torah from the rabbi to his student, from the rabbi to his students. We have two systems that are passing the Torah, one to each other. And it's supposed to be from a person to a person. Because we are not people that are numbers. We are not people that only on the level of thinking. We are people who have personality. inside us. And this personality is supposed to come and supposed to be, I will say, we can take the maximum of our personality when we have connection with someone who is a bit older than us, who is a bit more smart than us, who passed, the flame from one to each other, who got something from his rabbis and passing it to the other students. This is the way. Now, today, we a bit, I will say, broke it down a bit because we are doing it through the computer, okay? But the truth is that we need to meet one each other. And this is the best way of doing it. I remember the time that I took, I went out from my comfort zone and I went to the other side of the world and I went to visit British Columbia, for example, okay? Or to other places in the world. It's different when you meet people only on the computer or you meet them face to face. Fair enough. So soon we're going to do also another, I'll say, a very big assembly in Europe and another one in the United States. Well, it will happen again and again. Okay, fair enough. But this is what Moses is saying. People come to me to seek God. They look on my face and they understand that I'm passing them something that I've got from God. Moses is not saying that the only way of, we'll say, leading the people of this world or leading the community of the nation is not by doing this system. And when Jethro is listening carefully to what Moses said to him, so he's saying to him, you need to search, to choose people, okay, that, how is saying it? People are looking for truth, okay? They hate money, okay? They fear God-fearers. Oh, they're not only going through numbers, okay? But they are real people that you can choose that are passing something. This is the nomination of those people is related one with each other, okay? Suddenly, it's not only a structure of the society, it's more than that. Do the truth. I'm asking a true question. When someone is coming in front of a judge, according to the, I will say, the judge structure that we have from the old Romans, okay, till today, do we know the judge in a personal way? Not at all. And if the judge knows us, he is not allowed to do the trial. It's just the opposite. Just the opposite of what is being written down here. Yes, exactly. Now listen good. Listen good. If the main point of the human being is that he knows how to think, when we have the AI, and believe me, it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. Very soon, I don't know if it will happen in another year, another 2 years, another 8 months. Very soon, it's going to be a meta AI, okay? Not only the AI that we have today, because we're speaking about hundreds of millions of people that are using this AI. I don't know if you know, Google opened the part of the deep research of AI in beginning of March, okay? They had only 35 million people that used the deep search of Google. In the beginning of March, they opened the deep research to all of the people of the world, whoever wants can use it. And in a month, they jumped from 35 million people, okay, to 350, 10 times million people that use the deep research, okay? This is the things that the numbers that and I'm not speaking about the other, companies that are doing those deep research, whatever it is. Everything is changing now. And the most, I will say, fear that the science have today is what will happen when the deep research or when the AI will start to use the meta research, okay? This machine will start to control everything. But if you think that the uniqueness of man is that he knows how to think, we came to a stage that there are machines who knows how to think even better than him. I don't know if you ever tried to ask the AI, how do you feel this morning? What is the answer of the AI? I'm a machine. I don't know what I'm feeling. What is it feeling? Right? We as human beings, this is something that we need to have. Now, the Torah is not only a knowledgeable issue. The Torah is the relation with God. People are coming to me. How did Moses say here? Okay. People are coming to me to seek God. What I'm saying here is that with all of this big jump that we're doing now, okay, and it's a huge jump for the society with this AI. There is one thing that will stay ever, I will say, with the responsibility of the Hebrew people for the whole world, and the Noahide people that are with us. You can't even imagine how much fast is going to happen, that you're going to be under the demand. Give us from this more. We are thirsty for the words of God. Okay? And you said it very nicely late in the 2 or 3 weeks ago when I asked you to give me, what have you gained from learning every Sunday night with me, or what from learning from the Noahide, movement. And you said it very nicely: purpose in life, harmony in life, a lot of things that you said, and you can't imagine even how fast it will be that people will turn to you and will say to you, "We are thirsty for the words of God." Not knowledgeable. Knowledgeable, we know everything. We have only a click away from one sentence of question, and we understand a lot of things that we never learned, or we never knew that we can get, that it's touchable for us, that we can understand them. And this is one of the things that will stay. And this is what Moses is saying. People are coming to me for seeking God. And this is the difference between if we are people and the uniqueness of us is that we think, or we are people and the uniqueness of us that we have a will and we can get connected with God. Very important principle.
Wow.
Questions till now? The truth is, I'm really sorry. And I'm really sorry that another 5 minutes I need to go. I'm really sorry. You will be able to stay, or those if you want to speak, whatever it is, but I think that I made my main point. And again, don't get confused. I'm using a lot of the AI. There's a lot of things in the AI. Every week we have new things in the AI. Soon, and this is another thing we've done that you need to know. Soon I'm going to close the Zoom, and we're going to speak through through Google, the Google Meet. I'm going to change the link. It will be another 2, 3, 4 weeks. We're going to move to the Google link of Google Meet. And one of the most amazing things that already is in the United States in Google Meet, that I can speak in my language, and each one of you will listen to what I'm saying in his own language. And then it's already on. It's already on air. And the meaning of this is that we're going to do big gatherings of the Noahide, because we can put also Spanish people here. We can put Portuguese people here. We can put a lot of. I will speak in Hebrew. You will listen to this in English. Helen, you will listen to this in your language. Okay, and it's all the time getting, the scale, the adjustment is getting better and better and better. So today it's almost 95, 98% of good.
Yeah. It's getting closer to 99. Yeah.
And it's getting all the time, and it's improving, and more people that are using those things, it's getting even better and better. And but you won't need to break your teeth with English. You can stay with it. Now, think about this for a moment. Think about this situation. It's amazing. So I'm saying, on one side, it's great. We're moving to a big step.
I've been working. I've been thinking about making a virtual Noahide gathering software, Rabbi, and looking at the AI connectability so that people come into a meeting with an avatar and they're physically there in like I don't want to say a video game, but like a video game, but you speak and you select in your avatar what language you speak, and whatever they speak gets translated back to you so you can talk physically with anybody.
Don't work hard. It already exists in Google Meet, okay? Only in the United States, but soon it will be open to the whole world.
Right. But it's still going to be it's not going to be any more interactive than a normal classroom. There's limitations. I'm looking at some other things. So nonetheless, but I see where it's going.
No, fair enough. It's okay. Everything that can be improving to this Noahide movement is great, okay? Because we really have a lot of people. And this is one of the things that will gather people together and will help to grow this community. But I wanted to explain tonight the principle that we need to remember. And this principle is related with the Noahide, because this is a discussion between Jethro and Moses. Now, at the end, they're not, I will say, they are not in a conflict, okay? For sure, Moses is right, okay? In the beginning.
Yeah, it's more than just simple management. Yeah.
Moses is right in his way. Jethro is right in his way. And
yeah, this happens sometimes. Yeah, with low bandwidth. Yeah, you're frozen, Rabbi. Wow, but what a concept! Does anybody in the Zoom room have anything they want to add? Interesting too, but I found if one reads a book in the original language and then a translation quite different, the soul of the book is not there. Exactly. Very, very well put, Martina. Most people don't realize. Yeah, the connection. And it's like the rabbi said at the beginning, it's kind of the difference between touch and taste. I mean, you're dealing with completely different, I find in a lot of respects you can hear, but do you even understand? And that's even different than translation. I find Hashem's the one that turns on the light internally, and you can hear the same message 20 times and still pick up something fresh and new because Hashem's turned on a switch, or other puzzle pieces get put into place in your life and you see the picture clearer. My wife does puzzles all the time. I call her the puzzle queen, and she was working on one last week, and there was a lot of black and green in a forest that she was trying to put together, and it was very, very hard because there was no tactile differences, whereas you get a child's puzzle, they're very, very clearly defined so that the mind can put it together. But when we're dealing with the complexity of the human soul, most people don't realize. But one thing you got to realize about AI is a lot of it is a mirror bouncing back to you, your own feed into it, and what it picks up and knows about you. And you see these algorithms have been working for decades now on social media or on the internet. It tries to feed you what your interests are, and so these algorithms are advanced in that regard, and so you got to consider the mirroring effect. And I like how rabbis brought out today that you got to be
really
careful.
Sorry,
because
I don't know what happened to me. I got disconnected, but I need to go out.
Yes,
Hopefully next week we will sit down again. We'll meet again. I will send you the issue, but let's grasp a bit this idea that I gave tonight. And if you have any questions or anything else, you know how to catch me. And blessing for this coming week.
Okay. Blessings, Rabbi. Thank you so much. So we'll see you next week. I'll message you during the week and make sure we're okay and on the go for next week. Have a wonderful week, Rabbi. So good to be with you today.
Everybody. Okay.
All right. So the rabbi's got to step out. So I think we'll shut down the broadcast for now. And till next week, folks. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye for now.